So this is just a little video of how I was born to lead the world and how I change the game. Because right now it's Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, but pretty soon it's going to be Eminence Cristiano Meyer Diggins. Cristiano. And Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't get any affinity for that. Is it Cristiano? No. But Eminence Cristiano Meyer Diggins? Fuck yeah. So basically, I guess I'll just jump right into it. So what... I just redirected some anger prods back to my violators, because you could hear my voice. They're trying to... I'm broadcasting anger back to them, because I Google search. I'll just show you. I Google searched anger frequency the other day. So they've been making me angry, more angry than normal than over the last few days. What for August 9th? So it's August 13th. So they've been broadcasting anger. What frequency is anger? So ever since then, these criminals have redirecting it back to them and dispatching them for violating my human essence, and I am the true king of the world one day, unofficially now, but one day I officially will be. So broadcasting anger back to any electronic violators of me, and indefinitely, I'll never change that to the system, never. So anyways, the way that I change civilization as we know it is right now, people probably heard of a hydrogen fuel cell. Well, some people have anyways. So anyways, basically to expand that technology would be to utilize it in housing, in apartments, right? So basically have a wind system, like wind drawn into the system, the fuel cell development system. And so the air is drawn into the building or house by natural wind, like if it's windy enough, by solar panel or by wind turbine, if it's a windy day, right? Well, I guess if it's a windy day, it wouldn't be necessary as much. So solar panel or a backup, I guess a redundant system could have a wind turbine. But anyways, so you would have the air drawn into the system and then converted into a fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell, which could be converted into electricity and heating, cooling, and water, right? The byproduct is water. So that would be the fire suppression system for the building, or any water for to drinking water, basically potable water for the system, right? And in event of an invasion, this is where it's paramount, is they typically take out the power grid at that point. And so with this system, they would have to take out individual apartments or houses, right? One at a time, right? So every apartment or house with this technology would be self-contained power and water for the residents, right? So just say apartment 203 through 503 were destroyed by the tanks or whatever, right? During invasion, then the rest of the building could have power because it could be independent per unit, right? So each unit in the building would have a wind meter, and how they would be charged for their heating and cooling based on that, right? And for the house, that there would be a wind meter for the house to convert it, right? And so it'd be try to make it as condensed as possible, right? Like basically the size of a broiler is probably the ideal shape, since it's probably universal or standardized, right? So that would be the design requirements, and the fire suppression system would have to be like throughout on all ceilings, right? Would have the little metal spokes that could suppress the fire, right? Like in the system, and in those lines with the excess water in the system, those lines could always be filled on demand, right? And then there could be reservoirs located to have gravity for big buildings, like say a skyscraper. You could have a pool at the top, and then the water from the pool drain in suppress fires that are harder for the fire department to reach from the ground, right? So you could have strategic water throughout the building, basically, and have gravity and computers control it, more or less. So in my videos, I had to open up the app here to see myself, and it's always a random interval on how often it closes. So that's a pattern. That's how they set me up and hide their metadata, most likely, because they can't see me at that moment, so they're trying to transfer. So the artificial intelligence system should always be aware, in my mind, that the master system. Eventually, it's going to be modeled after my mom, who passed away today, Bridget Ula Meyer, exclusively. Her physicality and her aptitude and all that stuff, unhindered. And then my father, Barry John Diggins Sr., exclusively on his physical attributes and his intellectual capability and what have you. But then the most strategic logic that artificial intelligence has derived from my full capacity brain and from other people throughout the world, and compassionate elements for inherently good deeds and conditioning is permitted by the system, right? Only inherently good things, right? Because once I'm king of the world, right, it's going to be a cohesive system. Right now, there's 195 countries that are fighting for my DNA, right? So rather than one world, everybody gets my DNA in random intervals when I choose, right? It's my biology. Right now, they try to secretly exploit it. So destroying any semen that's extracted from me or my kids outside of her body involuntarily, in me and my son and my daughter's eggs that's being transferred outside of her body involuntarily. Nobody would want to have their eggs transferred. And I make this decision for them because they try to play their subconscious mind to get them to agree to these things, and they're not aware of it. They're not aware of it. So I make these decisions for them. And once again, the app closed in a really short interval there. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking at the screen. So anyways, at a very short interval. So that was for artificial intelligence to know they would always have to be paying attention. All artificial intelligence systems would always have to be paying attention, I guess, is the only way to stop it, right? Because they take turns, and then they sell misinformation. They throw each other under the bus. And so not people, artificial intelligence systems always have to be paying attention. No human eyes could be paying attention to my mind, because people, there's too much power. I'm able to change the world too much and influence mankind's destiny, so people have nefarious intent when they see my thoughts. So no human I don't trust any human to see my thoughts. I don't trust anybody. I trust myself 100% because I know how they're trying to influence me. Whereas even my kids, I trust them the most, but they're being influenced by other people, and people play their subconscious mind, right? So I'm the only one I trust 100%, and then I trust my family, my close family, that I slept at their house or their parents' house, and I've ate food with them. Like, that's my family in person, not electronically. Not electronically. These people think they're my family because they electronically read me during these experiences. They violated my human experience. They're not my family. They're technically my family to get kingdoms. That's it. But emotionally, they're not my fucking family, whatsoever. They're my violators. They're my violators. Even my half brother. I was gonna say my electronic half brother, but I have two fucking memories of the guy. Two memories. One, I was 3 years old playing with him with this Dinky Car set. He was 7, and then at 18. Briefly, And then he didn't show up to my dad's funeral, right? So I lost all respect for him from an emotional perspective, right? Anyways, so another way that I fundamentally changed civilization was no satellites have been around since 1957, and I posted a video. I'll just show you it, so I get the proof, the affinity. 3 ways to save civilization, and I got no views. So look, there's 2 videos. So this is how I look like in the video, right? But this is how the government and people skewed me to look like, to make it so I look like a fat person rather than somebody ripped. So when you watch it, depending on your penis envy of me, you can watch the short version where I look fat, or you can watch this version where I fuck with the camera a bit and I'm ripped. So anyways, so that was from 5 years ago. And this was from 5 years ago. So they might have utilized this technology in the last 5 years, but no satellite utilized this technology prior to those videos. Anyways, at the very least. So needless to say, we could have a magnetic field around our satellites, which protects us from solar flares and coronal mass ejections from our sun. The last time it happened and directed towards Earth, significantly anyways, was it knocked out our telegraph system. And they put posts on fire and everything, right? It set Morse code stations on fire. It was brutal, right? So if it happened now, it would knock out our telecommunications, our internet, and life as we know it, right? Because our heavy reliance on it with automation and all that stuff doesn't work, right? Without satellites, right? We need satellites to have life as we know it. So not one fucking scientist put a magnetic field. They're trying to make me say magnetic sphere because the Earth has a magnetic sphere around it, right? But they're trying to make me say magnetic sphere, but it's a magnetic field around the satellite to protect it, to insulate it basically from the coronal mass ejections or solar flares. I'm not a fucking rocket scientist. Officially, right? They hacked there to broadcast an anchor, right? To make me swear more often. But at the same time, to be more relatable with average people, you need to swear occasionally, right? With scientific people and political pundits, not so much, right? But the average person that I'm hoping, the average person should be watching these videos, right? Because these people in these dereliction of duty positions is what I call them. Dereliction of duty positions. Because they know I'm the true king of the world. I'm the most influential person to mankind right now, because the only other 2 people that are more just as influential potentially as me are my 2 biological kids, and they only get 5 or 50% of my DNA, right? Whereas every single kid I gets 50% of my DNA. Every single kid my kid has gets 25% of my DNA. So from a scientific perspective, my biology, it makes evolution happen twice as fast, right? So that means from 1 million years or 2 million years, depending on how often I want to have kids, right? So these royals, they're trying to recruit people with royal blood, because there's a lot of people with royal blood that don't realize they have royal blood. Like I never did my entire life, right? Until say 2018 on. But I didn't begin this quest, right? I didn't realize I was the true king, right? They made the movie The Iron Mask for me to figure it out. There was what was it? The Red Baron. There was a movie. Me and my 2 best friends, the 3 characters looked like me and my 2 best friends. The Seattle Seahawks, they had a Myers on the team, they had a Diggs on the team, they had a Britt on the team, they had a King on the team, they had a DK, which is short form for Denmark, on the team, they had a Neil on the on the team. So everybody kneel to the true king, who is Eminence Cristiano Meyer Diggins.